Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we are taking a look at the Grand Battle vs Vice Admiral GARP, the 40-star event that's just dropped on both sides of the game. So there are 3 events out against the Navy officers, Sengoku, and GARP, and ideally you want to be taking down GARP for the most amount of points, but as long as you can beat any of these events, you will get your hands on the free-to-play Whitebeard. So with this particular piece of content, the main unit that you really want to bring is this guy right here. Whether it's a frame captain, whether it's your own, but this content is designed with a double Roger lead in mind, so it is fairly finicky if you don't have Roger, but I do have 3 teams for you guys, 2 that don't utilize Roger or Odin on the team besides the friend captain. So before we begin, let's have a look at the free-to-play unit that you really want to sort of farm up for. That is the free-to-play Whitebeard. So this is him here. You basically get him for doing one stage of any of those runs. He's really good at removing bind and defense up. He also is an attack booster if you have psi units, and he's an orb booster if you have psi units, and an attack booster if you have strength units. So he works great with Odin or Roger. I think his design is really good, to be honest, and he is quite effective if you don't have anyone else to remove the bind on stage 4 of the GARP challenge. So in saying that, I've done 3 teams for you guys today, and let's hop in and let's see how they perform. Alright guys, so the first team I have for you guys is a hybrid V3 Law and Roger team. Now this team is very free-to-play friendly. All the subs are free-to-play, but unfortunately there isn't a free-to-play damage reduction removal, so we do have to bring Clash Zoro, and unfortunately there isn't many good leaders that are on the boosted list. Now Rayleigh's really good, but the problem is once you get to the end and the final stage, the GARP is actually going to turn into the opposite color to whatever your captain is. So if you bring Rayleigh, he turns into a strength unit, which kind of like makes things very tricky when you're looking at like the free-to-play side. So ideally you want to bring a captain that is psi. Now I did think about bringing Wako, but the problem with Wako and like not having an orb booster is that we may struggle when we get to the end with the damage. So this particular team is led by Law. He is still a slasher, which is really good, because that way we can still use the Oro Jackson. He's also a psi unit, just like Roger is. So that's just going to help us out a lot when we get to the final stage, because GARP is going to turn into a int unit. So on stage 3, we come up against a bunch of Marine lackeys. Now these guys do have quite a bit of HP, but with just your normal attacks, you can take them out fairly easily. Having Roger as a captain, as a 4.5 times Rainbow captain, just makes life so much easier. Now, unfortunately, not everyone is getting a buff on this particular team because of Law's captain ability. So Law is only boosting free spirits, strikers, and fighters. So our Dogstorm and our Zoro aren't actually getting a buff on this particular team. But I feel like we're probably just not going to need it, to be honest. So when we come up again on stage 4, we come up against Sengoku and 3 Marine lackeys. This is where Shanks comes into play. Make sure he's in your middle slot somewhere so you can remove the binds. He's also going to remove the chain coefficient as well, give you a chain buff. Then with Buggy, we can give ourselves a full board of strength orbs. And then finally we can use the Roger super typing. And we can use the Roger special to basically just wipe out the guys in the front and then leave Sengoku. Now, as I mentioned, we are not getting a buff on our Dogstorm unit, unfortunately, but hopefully we still have the damage here. Oh, what? I didn't need to hit you. Oh, we have plenty of damage, it's all good. Alright, so we take out Sengoku there, and we can move into the final stage against the Vice Admiral that is Mr. Monkey D. GARP. GARP is going to give himself an attack buff. He gives 5 turns of damage reduction and threshold. He gives normal attacks only, which sucks, and then gives us a full board of block orbs. He also does the effect where we can only use 3 specials, which is fairly annoying, but with this particular team it's not a big issue. He also has an interrupt when you do an attack buff. So as you'll see here, when we use the Dogstorm special to remove the threshold, he is going to give us an interrupt against our attack buff. But with the Roger's captain ability, we can just remove that. Sorry, GARP. Next, we can use Zoro to remove the damage reduction and give our slashes a color affinity boost. And then finally, Laura is going to give us a chain lock as well as an orb boost, so we can finish off GARP as he turns into a int unit.
Quiero.
There you go. See you later, Garp. So there you guys go. That was the most free-to-play team that I could think of and put together for you guys to take down this 40 stamina event. So moving on to the next team, we have a hybrid Shanks crew and Roger team. So unfortunately, Shanks crew is not boosted. God knows why, but he isn't. So we are using a hybrid team. Shanks is going to proc the super typing of Roger though, so that's pretty handy for us there. But unfortunately, our Snake Man V1 and our Shanks crew, because they're not boosted, we do need to stall out for their specials. The other units we have on this team, we do have Okiku on this team to remove the bind that gets inflicted on stage 4, or you can use the Halloween Ace support on Luffy like I am here. But I thought I'd bring Okiku just to show you guys that if you don't have Halloween Ace, don't stress. You can bring the free-to-play Okiku as well, or you could actually bring the Wipey that gets given if you beat any of the 3 stages just one time. So he's another unit that you could bring here as well, but Okiku is boosted, so I did want to bring her instead. On this stage we get Despaired, but that's not the end of the world, because we can use the switchability of Shanks. Shanks is going to give us an attack boost here, which is great, and it's going to help us just take down this stage a little bit easier. The other 2 units on this team is we have the free-to-play Buggy once again. He's really good at removing the barrier on the Sengoku stage. And then we have Rayleigh, who removes all the defensive effects on that final stage as well. Now, Rayleigh is replaceable with like Usohachi or the new Robin that's just come out as well. Makes life a lot easier, just so as long as you can remove the threshold and the defense or the damage reduction. Bobbins will work too, but Rayleigh's the best option as he is boosted, closely followed by either Usohachi or the Robin unit. So on the 4th stage, we come up against Sengoku and a bunch of lackeys. Now, when we move into the final stage, we do want to make sure that we are our Sai variation of Shanks crew, so that is very important. So on this particular stage here, we are going to use the special of Okiku just to get some cooldowns here. Then we can use our Roger special. Roger is going to wipe basically all of those enemies around the outside of Garp. We can then use our Buggy special. Buggy's going to give us a full board of red orbs, and then we can switch with our Shanks crew to get the higher attack captain, as well as give our Roger an orb. Then we can use our Luffy special for an orb boost that we can carry into the final stage, and with that we should be able to take out Sengoku. Make sure you are hitting with your Sai units first, that way you can just trigger the carryover effect of Luffy into the next stage against Garp. And because we are a Sai unit, Garp is going to turn into an Int unit. Garp will turn into the opposite to what your captain is. He puts up those 5 turns of threshold and damage reduction, and he does some pretty annoying stuff. He gives us 3 specials only, he gives us a full board of block orbs. It's very annoying. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the super typing of Roger. That is going to give us a full board of orbs. Then we can use the switchability of Shanks. That is going to give us an attack buff. Then we can use the special of Shanks to give us a 3.5 chain, as well as then using Rayleigh. Rayleigh's going to remove the defensive effects and give us a 2x color affinity boost to our red and our Sai units. And with that, because we have a full board of orbs, we should have the damage to take out Garp here. Beautiful. So 40 million damage, as you can see there. Roger is pretty much essential. So yeah, team works fairly well, but unfortunately it's not completely boosted. But finally we'll move into the whale team with a completely boosted team. And for the final team in this video, guys, we have the big time whale team. So we've got the double led Roger team with Kazuki Odin as a sub. We are bringing the rare recruits Rayleigh as well, and then we have the free to play Shanks and Buggy once again. The Rayleigh is very good for the final stage, and Shanks is very good for the second last stage against Sengoku. But basically, as we make our way through here, because we have so much cooldown with the boosted effects, we can just sort of blitz our way through this particular stage and not have to worry about the lackeys in terms of stalling. On stage 3, we come up against a bunch of Marines. They give us a despair, but obviously with the Roger captain, we just don't have to worry about that, as it's just going to get blasted away. With the double Roger as well, we do have heaps and heaps of damage here. So we do want to just make sure that we kill the characters that have the lowest cooldowns, so we can not worry about getting hit. We are using the Aura Jackson on this particular team, as we have a full free spirit slasher team. The Aura Jackson's really, really good as long as you're satisfying the full slasher and free spirit requirements. The extra healing, the easier to hit perfects is really, really strong. But once we come to stage 4, we come up against Sengoku and 3 of his Marine lackeys. We get the 99 turns of normal attacks only, and we're locked onto that middle green guy. We're going to get chain coefficient reduction and 6 turns of blind, so obviously with sockets that goes down to 3. This is where Shanks comes into play. We can use our Shanks special here, and Sengoku has a barrier too. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use our buggy special to remove that barrier and give us a full board of strength orbs. We can then use our Kazuki Odin special. Odin is going to change all those orbs into Wano slots, and then with the super typing of Roger, we can lock them in. Once they're locked in, we can use the Roger special here. That's just going to wipe out those lackeys in the front, extend that orb buff for the next turn, and then we can just take out Sengoku with normal attacks.
Ikuze?
Moving into the final stage, we come up against the big dog Garp. Garp turns into an int unit, and he gives himself an attack up. He also gives himself 5 turns of Threshold and Rainbow Shield, so we need to make sure that we can get around that somehow. Finally, he gives you a full board of block orbs and gives you 3 specials only, but it's not the end of the world. So what we can do here is we can use our Rayleigh special. Rayleigh's going to remove those defensive effects, and then we can use our Roger special for the attack buff. Now, when you use an attack buff, Garp has an interrupt, but obviously with Roger's amazing captain ability, we are just going to blow that away and just say, sorry Garp, like, you're really good and you took me down, but you didn't really take me down, bro. You were just the one that took me in. So there you guys go. That was the final team taking on the new Grand Battle versus the Vice Admiral Garp. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with more OPTC content I post, hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you guys for watching as always, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!